So while the others are coming into the class, it's been a great journey starting from the first week of June till today. And for everyone working on their projects, kudos to you. I know the timeline for submission is pretty much around the corner. So today we're going to have an amazing class on e-commerce and business management, and the facilitator for this class is the founder of Professional Empires Network, which gathers together professionals from different walks of life. He's also the founder and coordinator of the Port Harcourt City Health Fair. So if you're in Port Harcourt and you know the Rest Place Church, you also know that this is the senior pastor, and it's an honor to have him right here with us. And he's going to be doing this talk. And so, Pastor Tari, we look forward to everything you'll be sharing today. This stage is yours.
All right, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. So welcome everybody. We are going to be talking about, I'd like us to discuss, I'd like to also hear from you. If you'd like to say anything, if you'd like to contribute, just raise your hand and they'll bring you up to share your thoughts. If you have questions, you can also share those questions. So I'll share my screen in a moment so that we can start from there and start talking about the topic of the day. E-commerce, very, very interesting. So COVID-19, the lockdowns and all of that exposed the world to the importance of e-commerce. The world is now thinking e-channels are getting more, getting bigger, getting more attention. And so everybody is there. So we need to talk about this and see how you can benefit from the great market out there. So let's go straight. I'll share my screen and then we'll begin to talk. Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Welcome once again, commerce and business management. I'll start by asking if there's anyone who has some kind of experience in this space. So you do your business online or anything of that sort. If you raise your hand, I would like to hear some experiences. If you've got any experience to share on that space, what is your experience online like so far? So if you have anything to contribute, I'll be glad to bring you up and listen to your thoughts on this. We will start by defining what e-commerce is about, and then we'll take it from there. So if anybody has any contribution, you have anything to say about your experience in this space, please feel free to share. Just raise your hand, they bring you up, and then you can share. All right. So what is e-commerce? Basically, simply, it's buying or selling products online. So it's business over the internet. That's what e-commerce simply is. Business online. So e-commerce will engage channels like web technology, electronic funding, mobile apps, and all of that. So basically, if you do business online or you want to step into this space, then you are in good company today. E-commerce, electronic commerce, activity of electronically buying or selling products online or over the internet. That's what e-commerce is about. And you know that this is big right now. Why should you be on this space? Why is it important? Why should you go online? So statistics show that over 3 billion internet subscribers exist in the world. That's like nearly half the population of the world is online. In Nigeria, we have over 100 million internet subscribers. That's more than 50% of the population in Nigeria are online. So the internet is the new world frontier. The internet is the new business platform. So everybody is there. You should be there. If you're looking to make profit, if you're looking to make big deals, you should be in that space because it will position you in the biggest market, the biggest markets in the whole world. So this is very important. It's important that you are there. The demographics show that we have younger people. The world is getting younger and younger every day. So the percentage of young people is on the rise. So for instance, in a country like Nigeria, you have like 70% of the population can be classified as young people. And young people are in this space. They are in online, they are doing business, they are communicating, they are meeting friends. And so if you step into that space, you will be making yourself more relevant and more visible. Some examples of popular e-commerce platforms, and I know you know tons of them, but Amazon, Jumia, Konga, Alibaba, Shopify, and a whole lot of them. Now, these are some examples. If I ask you, I'm sure you have a lot of other examples to share. Okay, so there are two types. So it's either you are online as a single vendor store or you are a multi-vendor store. So what does this mean? A single vendor store is when only one vendor deals. So basically, you are responsible for your business. So maybe you have a big brand and you want to just go out there and sell your own products. So you have this e-commerce platform where you are the only business on your platform. You are responsible for the content, you are responsible for the business. So people just come to your platform to do business with you. So it's a single vendor. When they come on your site, they deal with just you. But multi-vendors, on the other hand, create like an online mall, a shopping complex where multiple vendors can upload their products directly and just come in there to trade. So the multiple vendor stores are like a big shopping mall, but the single vendor deals with just my product. This is my platform. This is my space. You can come in and do business with just me. Multiple vendor, you come in to the mall, you have a lot of other business concerns. You can go in there and buy products, do your shopping online. So the multi-vendor stores just provides the platform where many other business people can interact. They see themselves like a big advertising platform. So if you want to go into the e-commerce space, how do you go about it? Simple steps to get your own e-commerce platform. What do you do if you want to go into this space? So I believe that everybody is following and you are, you can hear me clearly. Now, at any point in time, if you want to say something, you want to share your thoughts, you want to make comments, feel very free to raise your hand and I'll be glad to let you, share. All right. So how do you start? How do you get your own e-commerce platform going? How do you start? What do you do? The first thing to do is to figure out the business model and get a unique value proposition. I'm going to explain that better as we go on. But first step, you know your business model. What do I want to do? And all of that. And why do I want to be on this space? Why do I want to do what I want to do? What is my advantage? If I want to come in and do a big shopping mall online, I should ask myself, why should people buy from me and not from Jumia? Why should people buy from me and not from eBay and all of those? So you need to ask yourself those questions, but we'll get into clearer details later. The next thing is research and validate. So you are going to do your homework. You don't just jump into the space, you need to do your homework. Check for competition and then look at the viability of your business. So you do some research and validate your business. Work on your branding because you will be more visible. People will be, your brand is very important. You can't be careless about your brand when you come out on this space. Like I said, 3 billion plus people out there on this platform. So you want to make sure that your brand is good. You work on your brand. You have to register your business. Your business registration needs to be in place. Build your platform. The next thing, you build your platform or you get someone to build it for you. Most likely, if that is not your area of expertise, you need to get someone to build it for you. And this is important because there will be a lot of questions to ask. As we go on, you will see that it's not just jumping on the internet. There's a lot of things you need to look out for. The next thing is to market your platform. So you need to market your platform. How do you get people to know you are present on the internet? Because the advantage is that there's a lot of people out there on that platform, but that also is the disadvantage. So the advantage is the disadvantage. So many people calling for your attention. So you need to find a way to market your platform so that they will look out for your mall, your store online, and not just the other persons. Now, monitoring of your sales and transactions, very important, and then building a customer base. So these are simple steps to get your own e-commerce platform. Figure out your business model, get a unique value proposition, research and validate, work on your brand, register your business, build your platform or get someone build it for you, market your platform, monitor your sales and transaction, and build a customer base. All right, so we'll continue. So far, any comments, any questions? All right, e-commerce business. All right.
So there is one hand. Winifred Orji just raised her hand. I guess she has a question or a comment. So Winifred, you can unmute your mic and say what you need to say.
Okay, good evening, Pastor Tari.
Good evening, Winifred.
It's nice having you here. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'd like to ask a question. I really don't understand what you mean by build your platform or get someone to build it for you. What platform are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. A good thing you called my attention to that. So I'll try to then, and what I'll do is try to explain better because I was assuming that a lot of people already have the background understanding of what I'm talking about. So I'll take a step back and explain again. So if you want to get your e-commerce platform. So e-commerce is basically buying and selling online. You want to go online, electronic channels to sell your products or to buy products. That's where the business happens online. So it's doing business over the internet, basically. If you want to start your own platform, so I said you can either start a multi-vendor store or a single vendor store. So if it's just your business, your products you want to sell, you can build a platform. That means create your space online, your platform for trading. So people come in the platform. As we go on, you will see what what you need for your platform or who you need for your platform. So you need a platform. For instance, you can go to Jumia. That's a platform. They've created their website, they've created their presence online, so you can step into their platform and transact with them, do business with them. So when I'm talking about your platform, I'm talking about your website, your channel, somewhere they can reach you, your store online, basically. That's your online store. It could be a single vendor store, just your product, or a multi-vendor store. So you jump on an existing site. You can jump on an existing multi-vendor site. So you can say, I need a space I need to put my product on Jumia. I need to put my product on Alibaba. So people can go to that platform and then they will see my product and buy my product. Or I can just set my own, set up my own platform for people to come to me, meet me, and do business with me. So when I talk about building your platform, I'm talking about building your own space, your own online store. So basically, maybe we can call it your website or your internet presence. How can they meet you? So just like somebody goes to your store to patronize you in real time, you need to have a store, a platform they can visit. They can come to you and say, okay, I go to your website to get access to your product, to transact business with you. So building your platform, if you are skilled enough, you can do it yourself, because there are, as we go on, I'll give you some examples of some already made, easy to use sites you can just get on and start running. Otherwise, you can get somebody to build a platform for you, tailor-made, designed to meet your specific needs or your specific interest. So that's what I mean by building your platform or getting someone to build it for you. I hope that helps.
Yes, sir, it did.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so e-commerce business model. Major things to focus on while building your model. So if you want to build so I told you the first thing you need to do, you need to get your business model in place. If you want to go online, you want to do your business online, your business model needs to be clear. And when you are building your business model, a few things you must ask yourself, you must look out for. Value proposition. What will my e-commerce store focus on, and what will make my store stand out? So basically, that's the first thing. What am I going to be doing there? What do I want to sell? What products do I want to, or services do I want to render? And why will people come to me and not somebody else? So for instance, I can say I want to start a car rental service or car hire service. Why should they come to my store and not Uber or Bolt and all of those other car hire companies out there? Why should they come to me? So what will make my store stand out? That's a question you must ask yourself. Why should they come to me? You must offer something different, something unique. So that's your unique selling point. You need to think about that when you want to start. What will my store focus on? And why should people come to me? What will make my store stand out? This is really critical, because a lot of what we right now is we see a lot of Me Too businesses, and it's something that people need to look at. If you are going to copy, do what somebody else is doing, you need to think of what you can add to it, some value you can bring to the team, not to replicate what somebody else is doing completely. So Me Too businesses make it difficult it makes it difficult for people to pick you over someone else, because if you're doing exactly what eBay is doing, for instance, why should somebody come to you and not stay with eBay? So you have to offer something more, something better. There's a group coming into Port Harcourt now, and they're thinking, to my city in Port Harcourt, they're thinking of doing something different. They want to compete with the likes of Jumia and the rest of them. They're thinking of something different, a completely different package, something that will make us think about going over to them instead of working with Jumia. And maybe as we go on, I'll share some of their business ideas, business model with you. They've not really started in full, so I can't give you too much information on that. Now, the next thing is target market and channels. Who am I trying to sell to? That's important. If you answer that question, because you see, no matter how good you are, you can't sell to everybody. You must understand your target market. And so online, that's also a big deal. So you don't spend money advertising to the entire 3 billion people. You can't afford to do that. You need to find out who is my market, who am I trying to reach, so that I can focus my efforts, I can channel my effort to this group of persons. Where can I find them? Also very important. Who are they? Where can I find them? So if you're going to sell your products you want to sell to older people, rural people, you may have to sit back and think, will I find them online? Are they online? Can I find them there? Do I really need to be in this space? You need to, so this is very important. Who am I trying to sell to? Where can I find them? If your product is for rural farmers, you may not find too many of them online. So you must be careful to think, will I find them here? If you can find them in this space, then good to go. The next thing, you need to identify your key partners. Who do I need to partner with to make this business work? Who do I need? And this is important from the beginning. You must know who you need. You don't get into it and then get stuck, and then you begin to look for somebody to help you. I know somebody who started a fantastic e-commerce platform, and they started going, and just within a few weeks into their business, their whole site crashed. They did not do their homework. Their site was hijacked, and they were asked to pay ransom to get back their site, and everything just fell apart from there on. So you need to know who are the people you need, key partners you need. For instance, you will need someone to host your platform. You need a host for your website, your platform online. You need a host. That's very important. So you can get a local platform, a local group to host your platform, but then you must think about the security of that platform. So you must be sure that the platform is safe and you can do business there without losing losing anything or putting the people who patronize you at risk. The next partners you will need, payment gateway. So if people are going to make payments on your platform, you need a payment gateway partner. So there are several ones you want to look at. Flutterwave, GT Connect, and all of that. They have a lot of them you can work with, so that when people visit your site, they want to make purchases, they can just buy straight from your site. All right, you need vendors, you need people. So if you are running, for instance, a multi-vendor mall online, you will need vendors. You need people to come in and sell their goods and services in your mall. Take, for instance, Uber. Uber doesn't, the company does not own the cars. So the cars come from different vendors. They bring their cars and register on the platform, and then they do business. Uber just provides the platform, provides the advert, provides the channel for them to reach their customers. So in that case, if you're building a platform like Uber, you need to look at your vendors. Who are the people you need to bring on your platform, and the people that will do business on your platform, your vendors. You need to think about that also. Those are part of your key partners. If you are a single vendor, you are also thinking about your raw materials. You're thinking about your raw materials. Where will I get my products? You don't want to see a scenario where you advertise products and people are ready, they want to buy, and then you say we are out of stock. We can't find the product anymore. That will be quite embarrassing. You will lose your clients, and they will not trust you. You lose trust, you lose integrity. So you want to sort this out at the beginning. Key partners, you may look at your raw materials. That's for single vendors. Process and resources. What is the workflow? What are the items I must have to make the business work? So you need to look at your process and the resources you need. For instance, resources, you need a web platform, like we said. So you need, if you are doing, so you need internet service, you need something, you need a computer, and probably you need personnel, human resources. So you need to think about the resources you need from the beginning when you define your business model. And then processes, you have to look at your processes, and this is also very important. You must create like a journey map. Create like a journey map, for instance. So look at it. If somebody comes to your platform, how easy, how interactive is your platform? Will I be able to just come in there and in 3 steps, I conclude my business and transactions? Because many people look out for 3. So if you're going to do business online, always think of the number 3. Once it's more than 3 steps, people get tired, people get frustrated, people just move on. People don't have too much time. Like I said, it's a big market, so there's a lot of competition. If somebody comes to your site and they cannot navigate through your site properly, they get bored, they get tired, and they just leave. So 3 steps. You can think about it from visit to purchase. Can you make it in 3 steps? Can I click on your site and then in 3 steps, I've completed my transaction? If you can do that, if your processes are easy, you will see that you'll attract more people. People just want to do their business and move on. When people are online, so I know that even when people do church online, for instance, they don't stay in one place. They keep checking out other churches. They don't. So if you're staying for too long, they just move on to something else. So you want to think about 3 steps whenever you put your processes together. Somebody from visit to purchase, 3 simple steps, as simple as possible. So your processes, you need to think about your processes properly. So you create like a journey map from visit to the site to purchase. How is it going to work? How is this process going to look like? And finally, you talk about your cost and revenue. What will I spend money on, and how will I make money from this platform? Because basically you are here to make money. So what do I spend on my cost, and how do I make money from this platform? So that's basically just a summary of your business model. The next thing we will look at is e-commerce regulations and taxes. So I told you that apart from your business model, you need to look at your registration, your business registration. Yeah, so e-commerce platforms are usually taxed like regular businesses. So you must think about paying tax. A lot of people just do their business online and they don't bother about tax, but that's not right. If you are going to build a business that will stand the test of time, if you want to build a business that can have a level of integrity, you want to build the business that can be trusted, you need to think about your taxes, your regulatory processes, documentation, and your taxes. So it depends on where you are operating from. Laws are different. If you are in Europe, they have a different set of laws online. If you are in Nigeria, right now we're talking about that they're looking to regulate the social media space in Nigeria. Just that not so many people trust the motive of government, and it's not different. It's the same thing all over the world. People don't trust government. People always think that the government has an ulterior motive. So people don't trust the motive of the government. Otherwise, regulation for e-channels, e-commerce, e-spaces, very important, because if there are no regulations, I cannot go to court, I cannot sue, and I cannot be sued. And if you can't take me to court, then I can do whatever I like, and there are no laws, and so you can't hold me accountable. So the space regulation is important for both the buyer and the seller, because if I'm going to buy your product, I want to be sure that if you do something that I'm not happy with, there are laws protecting me on this channel. So that's why a lot of people are afraid of going online. They're thinking, what if I get swindled? What if I get robbed? What if they use my data and they sell my information? What if I impute my card details and they use it to defraud me? And people are worried about all of this. So regulation is important. So where you are doing business, find out what are the regulatory requirements. This is important. And the taxes you need to pay. Most common among this is the VAT, value added tax. So when you go online, most times when you want to buy products, you find out that a lot of sites will already, products will already carry the VAT, will already be marked up to include the VAT. But in other cases, you just find some people, you see the cost of the goods, you check in, when it's time to pay, they add another line of payment and say your VAT, and then you have to pay the VAT, the value added tax. So products are taxed online. So for me, from my experience, I feel very frustrated when they tell me this product is $1,000 and then I click on it. When it's time to pay, I realize they want me to pay $1,100 because of VAT, because of some other charges. I don't like that in most cases, because by the time I'm clicking on that product, my mind is made up to spend $1,000. So what I advise people to do is let your cost contain VAT. State from the beginning, this is inclusive of VAT. So people know that if I'm paying $1,000, it's $1,000 by the time I'm making my payment. Not you don't charge me extra and then tell me other charges apply. Or you make it clear. In some other cases, they make it clear exclusive of taxes. And when you do that, people know that, okay, by the time I'm paying, the taxes will be added on. So this is important. But you need to understand there are regulations and there are taxes to be paid. If you are doing business already online, you need to talk to someone and ask them, how do I get to pay my taxes? What are the regulatory requirements in my country or in my space? So that in Lagos State, for instance, they used to have something that seemed like double taxation. So when you do business online, there's the federal government VAT and then there's the state VAT. And that wasn't, people protested and complained about that. I think they changed that already because it's a double taxation thing. So think about regulatory requirements and taxes. Some of the things you need to do in order to operate legally. Nigeria as a case study: registration, your business has to be registered, Corporate Affairs Commission, or whatever body you have in your own space. And then there are some tech regulatory bodies, associations and groups that you may want to identify with for your own protection, and then to make your operation completely legal. You know, when you are small, you can ignore all of this, but if you plan to grow big, people will go back to your history and they will hold you accountable for the things you skipped. So that's why it's good to, when you start right, do it right. Ensure you have provision for VAT in your pricing or billing model, like I said. So when you give people to build your platform, you tell them they should create it in such a way that there will be provision for VAT added to your pricing and billing model. Keep tabs on regulatory policies. So these things change every day. Antitrust laws, data protection laws, what you can do with information people give to you. You need to understand how it works within your space. So people give you the email addresses, what can you do with it? People give you the information. When they come on your site, what can you do with their information? So there are laws protecting people's information, and you need to understand these laws so that when they give you their information, you know how to protect those information. Otherwise, you get sued. Or if they can't sue you, they will do what we call the court of public opinion. So they'll damage your reputation online. So you can build a big brand online, and as quickly as you build it, it can be pulled down when you do the wrong things. People will tell people, people will talk about it, and then if you trend for the wrong reasons, it will be very difficult to bounce back, especially when you are in the business of buying and selling. If you are in the entertainment industry, maybe not so. In the entertainment industry, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. If they call somebody out for stealing, the person becomes more popular. And by the time you know it, many people know about the person, and the person comes up with a new album and everybody is buying. But if you are there for business, profit making, then your integrity really, truly matters. Cybersecurity laws and all of that. So check out all of these things. So revenue models. So depending on the type of e-commerce platform, there are some revenue models you want to look at. How do you get your money? That's what I'm talking about. How do you make money? How can you make money online? How do you make your income online? So if you have a mall, for instance, those who have a multi-vendor mall, some of them can collect small commission on every sales that happens through their platform. So you can have people pay for it. So if you do business on something like maybe Flutterwave, you're using Flutterwave to make your payments. Some of the payment gateways, they will charge you like 2%. 2% on the cost of the item you are selling, they'll charge you 2%. Some of the cab services, the online cab services, what they do, they charge a commission. So on every transaction, they charge a commission. So you can charge a commission. How do you do this? You can do this in two ways. You mark up the product. So my wife does, she does Gary. She sells Gary. So it's, she's a PhD holder selling Gary. So interesting, isn't it? So, but what she does is she sells on platforms like our products are on Market Square and a couple of other places. So if you go to Market Square to buy her product, she has given Market Square a price. And what Market Square does is they mark up on that price. So if she says, I'm going to sell this 1 kg bag of Gary for 100 Naira, for instance, you'll never find a bag of Gary for 100 Naira. I can promise you that every day of the week. But just for this illustration. So if she says, I want to sell this bag of Gary for 100 Naira, Market Square will say, fine, they have a deal. Market Square will sell it, put on their price, they'll mark it up and say, this is 120 Naira. When the products are purchased, they pay her 100 Naira and they take 20 Naira. So that's how they make their money. So you want to think of such things. If you're going to have an e-commerce platform where people will come in and do business, you think of how you are going to make your money. Are you going to mark up on those products, or you are going to have just a vendor commission? So you just deduct a percentage of the person's revenue upfront without markup. So the person understands that whatever price you're selling, when you sell a product, I take 1% or 2% or 5% of the gross value of that product. So the next one is vendor subscription. People can come in and pay monthly or annual subscription to use your platform. So for them, their products to be listed on your platform. So for instance, you go to sell on a platform and they tell you this is what you pay annually, like you're renting a space in their e-mall. So you pay annual subscriptions or monthly subscriptions. So if you want to go on somebody's platform, you really need to know that it will cost you something. If you want to create your platform for others to come on, you need to know that you must make money off this. So these are some of the revenue models you can think of. What about payments? How do you get paid? So I told you this already. You have like Rave, Flutterwave, Paystack. Paystack basically still uses Flutterwave, but Paystack is poses as a competition, but they use Flutterwave anyway. GT Pay is also a way you can pay. I'll recommend Rave and Paystack above GT Pay, but GT Pay is also fine. So you can use these gateways for payment. There are portals through which payments can be processed. You can't just collect payments. You need to, so for somebody to input their card and get your transaction confirmed, you need to be able to sign up to any of these payment gateways. It's important you know this, so you don't just go online and expect people to pay. It is important to get a payment gateway, because what a lot of people do is, so a lot of small businesses go online and say, if you like my product, contact me. I will give you my account details, and you do a transfer. I'll confirm that transfer and I'll send your goods to you. That's also fine. But you see, through the process, you can lose a willing buyer. Somebody at the spur of the moment wants to buy, but if you give the person another 10 minutes to think about it, maybe they'll not just buy anymore. So if you make it easy for people to just come on your platform and click on and buy, it's always better, because that moment, if they can make that payment, if you can close that deal quickly enough, you don't give them the opportunity to have second thoughts. But because most times people have second thoughts. Where online payments are not so sufficient, other payment methods you can explore. Payment on delivery, that works very well. Payment on delivery, they pick up the product. When you deliver, they pay cash and collect the product. It works very well. So that way, if you can't afford to get a payment gateway, you can do payment on delivery. But then again, the person has a lot of time to think about it and say, you know what, I don't want anymore. But if you have a payment gateway, they make the payment right away on the spot, and then you deliver their goods and services to them. USSD payments, that's short codes that you can provide. These are available. If you talk to your bankers, they can give you a dedicated short code that you can use, a short code that you can use to effect payments online. You just give them your short code and they dial in and they make payments. E-commerce, and that one probably doesn't really need online internet services. When you use short codes, you won't need internet services. So areas where they do not have internet facilities, that can come in very handy. Okay, so I've been talking a lot. I don't know if there are questions. Please don't fail to interrupt, ask me questions. I like to know that people are following. I don't know, so I mentioned earlier, I don't know if anyone has an experience doing business online. You are online already, you're doing something online. Anybody like that with us here? You want to tell us how it's been for you? If there's anybody, please raise your hand and let's let you share something a little bit. What's your experience online? What has your experience online been? You've made purchases online, you've sold something online, or you are selling something? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening, yes. Hello?
Looks like she's talking, but we can't hear you. Jennifer, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll just go on. If we get Jennifer back, we can let her speak. So anybody else wants to say something? You do business online, you have an online presence already? Okay, so I'll just go on. If anybody wants to speak, I'll be glad to let you. So e-commerce marketing, how do you do your marketing? No different from your marketing model offline. It's no different. It's your 4 P's of marketing. And sometimes it's 5 P's, sometimes it's 7 P's, and I've also seen like 9 P's also. So, but let's just look at 4 P's of marketing. It's just basically the same marketing mix as you use in your traditional business. Product, what are you selling? Price, How much does it go for? Place, where can people find this product? Promotion, how do you let people know about the product and where to find it? So basically that's the marketing mix that you, just basically the same thing you would do offline, the same mix for your marketing. But I'll go, when we go on, I'll tell you a few, as we go on, I'll tell you a few marketing strategies you can use online in addition to this. Okay, so, okay, this is a table just showing basically what I've said. Know what you want to sell and who you want to sell it to. Let your pricing be clear and competitive. If your pricing is not competitive, the competition is strong. You'll be knocked off the market. So your pricing must be clear. So clear pricing, for instance, what I talked about, people want to be sure that there are no secret charges, unclear charges that will come up, hit them later. You know, I've bought something and then after I got my delivery, a few weeks later, I got some extra charges from the bank that I never bargained for. So your pricing must be very clear. If you are going to get some, if people are going to be charged something extra, they need to know. Otherwise, you leave a bitter taste in their mouth. And then competition. Your prices must be competitive if you must remain strong in business. Pricing is key. For place, all marketing efforts must redirect people back to your e-commerce store. So basically, you keep bringing people back to your store. Whatever you are doing with your marketing, you are not just pointing people to your logo and your design. Your focus is on your product and where they can find it. So all your efforts should point people back to your store, links to your store, so they just click and find themselves right there. Some people, when there's a discussion about an important topic and your business is within that space, some people want to go with the hashtags and then drop their links in case you have an interest in a product related to this discussion. You can visit this link, and they do that very well. So you want to direct people back to your space. Promotion. How do you let people know about the product and where to find it? So you take advantage of all possible publicity channels, especially on social media. Since it's the e-space you are dealing with, you want to take advantage of all possible publicity channels. And I will tell you a little bit about that as we begin to wrap this up. So marketing strategies. Increase relevant traffic. Okay, I think there's a question here. So Jennifer asked the question, I like to ask if you would advise multiple payment options. Oh, fantastic. Yes, you can have multiple options. That's a good question. Sorry, I didn't say that at first, but that's a very important question. If you can do multiple channels, please by all means do so. So ease of payment is really very important when you do e-commerce. Ease of payment. Make it easy for people to pay. So they can do payment on delivery, USSD, they can use payment gateways. If you have all of the, thank you for that question. So you must increase your relevant traffic. Increase relevant traffic. So how do you do this? Try to find a way to capture visitors' data when they come to your site. So a lot of people do this very well. So they make people sign up using their Facebook accounts. So they come up, they say, sign up and use your Facebook account to sign up. People are happy to do that because it's easier. But when you do that, you give them access to more information about yourself. Because if you use your Facebook account, then they have access to some more details about you. So you can find out, how can I capture visitors' data? When they come to my site, how can I make sure I keep information about them so that I can do targeted marketing? Because you really want to know who wants your product. Because if you're advertising to the whole world, you can't reach anybody. But you need to know who wants your product, who is interested, who came to have a look. You want to have relevant traffic, increase relevant traffic, not just all traffic, not just people coming to your site, but you want to make sure people who come in are interested in what you are doing, because that way you will close out your sales. You make more sales every day. Now, some people do survey competitions. They let people click and say, fill out this survey for a reward. You get a voucher, you get a discount, you get something. So when they do that, people fill out those survey information. They are really not, most of them are not really interested in what you have to say in those surveys. They paid people already to do their surveys and they have the information they need, but they just want your information. When you fill out those survey forms online, you give out information, they know your interest, they know what you want, and they know what to throw at you. So when they do their advert, they know what to throw at you. So you want to find out, how can I increase relevant traffic? How can I reach the people who need my product? So you need to think about that. So you can implement Google Shopping ads. You can use Facebook Business and use all of these opportunities to market your product. Search optimization is something else. So when you click on, initially, you know, Google used to do it, when you search on Google, the information comes out in alphabetical order. That's how it used to be. So Amazon was one of those who realized that quickly and called their company Amazon. So if you are looking for a product and you search, the first thing that comes in Amazon is among the top because it starts with an A. So many companies started using that, but Google got smarter and they have other algorithms they put in place that will determine whose information comes up first. So you want to look at how you can optimize your, improve your search option. So when people type for a product, you make sure so you need to talk to experts. There's somebody I wanted to be on this discussion. I wanted him to talk a little bit about some of these technicalities, how to improve your search presence. So if somebody is looking for rice and you deal on rice, your name should be among the top names on, because I don't think, I can't remember the last time I had to click the next page, and the next page when I'm looking for something. I just look at the first page and pick what serves my interest and move on from there. And so you want to think of how to do that. You know, these days of artificial intelligence, even people who use Siri and all of those other voice activated search engines, they have a way of optimizing their presence. So when you say, Siri, I need to find the nearest shop, people have learn to optimize their presence, so your name pops up first when those Siri is looking for options for people. So you need to think about that. You need to grow your mailing list. So get as many email addresses as possible, grow your mailing list, and make sure that you provide personalized experience. So don't do generic. So you send their customer, a mail to their customer. People will like to have a mail, their Jennifer, their Ruth, a personalized experience. So you want to get information and then give people a personalized experience, not a generic experience. And that helps people to feel important, feel relevant, and feel like you are talking specifically to them. Now you must also look at, make your platform mobile, responsive, and lightweight. And this is important. There are sites you visit and the site is so heavy that you can't get anything done. It would depend on your internet speed. It will depend on a lot. So make sure when you are building your platform, you tell whoever is doing it for you, please, I want people to be able to access my site using their mobile phones. They don't need to go to a laptop. They need to use their mobile. Too much data spent while they're on my site. These things are important. Partner with influencers. There are people who are influencers. You can partner with them. I know somebody who does some business. She got somebody to be on a, to share, promote her presence on YouTube and on other social media platforms. So they have postings every day. They reach out to targeted audiences, and then you see people just calling and people patronizing. So you can partner with influencers. If your reach is not strong enough, you can partner with those who can reach farther than you. So increase sales. This is important because this is basically why you are there. So you must do everything possible to increase your sales as you go. So, sales funnel. If you go online, I'll not spend too much time on this. I'll just rush through the rest of it. And then maybe if we have a couple of minutes for questions, then we can look clearer. If you go further, if you go online on Google, you will see sales funnel for different organizations. So you can find an organization that is similar to yours. So if you're in the food industry, you're thinking of something like Genesis. Genesis Foods, right now you can go online and order for food, order for their items. So you can look at their sales funnel. The basic idea of a sales funnel is the process of converting visitors to repeat buyers. And that's what you really need to think about to increase your sales. You need to think about, how do I convert visitors to repeat buyers? How do I make them come again and buy again and again? So for Shopify, you come in as a visitor and they try to get you to become a subscriber. And when you subscribe, the next thing they're trying to make you a shopper. And when you come in, you can window shop, but at the end of the day, they get you to buy. And then come again and buy again until the point they make you a brand ambassador. They get you to the point where you become a brand ambassador. They do that by giving some special discounts to special cards, special discounts, so if you're a brand ambassador, you get discounts, you get a card, a special shopping card and a special shopping ID, something that makes you come back again and again, and then you find yourself hooked on that space. You want to always come back there because you know that, oh, I have a card, I can always get it cheaper. On Shopify, I can get it cheaper. So you keep going back because they've made you now like a brand ambassador. So you want to think of, how do I make people come back again and again? That's a very critical point to look at. Quickly, support services. Some of the things you need that can help you maximize your e-commerce platform. You need MailChimp is an example, or any other bulk email platform for email newsletters. So you need something like MailChimp. You can use that to just send out bulk emails. So when people come in, they leave their, I mentioned earlier that your marketing strategy has to include growing your mailing list. So you must find a way to make people leave their email addresses when they do business with you. That's an important skill you need to learn. Find a way to make people leave their email addresses. When they do that, you can keep in touch with them. So you can send them email newsletters, tell them about your latest products, tell them about your promotions, and all of those things that will make them just click in. When you send them these mails, you put a link where they can click and just come back into your shop and buy something. So you can use MailChimp to get to send bulk emails. You can use Google services to enhance your search, for advertising, for cloud services. Google has a lot to offer that you can use these days for your business. So you want to explore that space. Social networks for marketing and content delivery. Security, this is critical also. If people are not safe, they don't feel safe when they come into your space, they won't come back again. As a matter of fact, they won't come at all if they don't feel safe. So e-commerce security is really very important. So e-commerce security is the protection of e-commerce assets from unauthorized access, use, alteration, or destruction. So you want to make sure that your security is top-notch. In this area, you need to talk to the professionals. So when they're building your platform, you need to ask questions. You need to talk to the professionals. It has to be secure. 6 dimensions of e-commerce security: integrity. You must be able to prevent against unauthorized data modification, non-repudiation, prevention against any one party from reneging on an agreement after the fact. So basically, you want to make sure that people do not renege on agreements. So at the end of the day, there are terms and conditions that apply, and people cannot break those conditions. Authenticity, authentication of data source. So this is important. Authenticity is important because a lot of people go online, so they do something like this. When Xbox came up with or PlayStation, basically PlayStation, let me use PlayStation. When they came up with PlayStation 5, something happened. A lot of people, so they came up with their price, but a group of people went on their line, so they made it completely online. You have to book online and purchase online because of the demand. So what these guys did, they set up robots who went in and started buying up all of the boxes. They started buying up all the boxes. And what they did, they were buying it so that they can create an artificial scarcity. So they'll buy up everything and then begin to resell in the black market. So they'll sell it like twice the price because people can't find any on the website, the original website anymore. So that was what they did. They did that with robots. So basically, when you go on some sites, they ask you to confirm that you are not a robot. They make you confirm that because people use robots to invade sites and alter a lot of things on that site. So you want to be sure that of your data source, you want to be sure you have the right information when people visit your site. So that's part of your security. Confidentiality, you must protect against unauthorized data disclosure. That's important. If I visit your site and my data and I'm not safe, I won't come back again. Privacy, data control and disclosure, availability, prevention against data delays and removal. So I've seen delays and removal. For instance, somebody went to make a purchase on Amazon and there were some delays in the process of processing his payment. He had some delays and he canceled the payment and the purchase. He canceled it and didn't pay for it. A few days later, he got a few days later, he got the item delivered to him. And he didn't pay for it. They delivered it because they had, it was a challenge with a bug with their site at that point. So you want to guard against all of those things so that you don't deliver items that have not been paid for and you don't get your fingers burnt. How to minimize security risk. In order to minimize security risks, these are the steps. Perform a risk assessment on your platform. So hire a professional to do that. Develop a security policy. That's very important. You must have a security policy. Develop an implementation plan. So steps you must take to achieve your security goals. Create a security division. So get somebody to be in charge to administer your security policy. This is very important. Don't take security for granted. Perform a security audit from time to time. A routine review of your access logs and evaluation of your security processes. This is important for you. So thank you very much for listening. I think I'm out of time, but if you ask me questions, I will be able to explain a little bit better, but within the time space, I had to rush through so many things at the same time, but I hope you got something. So thank you very much for listening. I want to hear from you, any feedback, any question, so or specific areas you want me to address. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really, it's amazing content, and like you said, it's so much to take in one sitting. And ladies, like we always do, please drop something you learned on the chat, something you learned, something that stood out for you. Please type it right in on the chat. And if anybody has a question, you can just raise your hand. We will bring you up and you ask the question. Otherwise, Tari, this was an amazing session. Thank you so much. And if maybe questions come up later on, we can also send them right up to you to respond, and then we send to the group. So while everyone is typing lessons they learned, we would just take this time to let you know in about 1 minute, we will bring the class to an end. And so this is the time for you to drop everything you need to know. On Friday is the next class, and we hope to see you there as well. So Pastor Tari, thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So basically, everybody just be on that space as much as you can, but talk to professionals. If you need to build your platform, talk to the experts doing that. It's where the world is, and you do a lot of business out there.
Yes, it's very important.
Thank you.
And since everything has literally moved online thanks to COVID, that's the first place people are going to go to look for your product anyway. So it's the first place you want to be before you do the brick and mortar. Great content, yeah. Very timely.
So quickly, let me just give you this. I promised to give you this. You can go to wix.com and you can go to WordPress to get already made platform, existing platforms. You can just use templates and run with those templates, and they're already designed for you. You can just use them. I'm sure some of them will fit into what you do. So just, you can look out, go to wix.com. You can go to WordPress, use WordPress, already made platforms that you can use and work with. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I've typed
GoDaddy.com.
I've typed in all of the recommendations you need. So everyone, please go ahead and check them out. And there is one hand raised. Blessing, did you want to ask a question? If yes, we'll just bring you up so that you can go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we will end the session right away and hope everyone has a good evening. Oh, okay. So Blessing has a question. You can just unmute yourself and go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the lesson. I really learned a lot. Well, I'm into website designs, and the WordPress is actually what I use to design the website, but I don't really know the plugins for the Flutter wave you talked about. I don't really know how to go about that. I've really tried putting it, the gateway for that. I've tried it, but I can't really get it. So I would like you to throw more light to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. What I would say is I'll take this offline. I'll connect you to somebody who is a professional on that. You can't just pull up the payment gateway and link to your page. You have to pay for it. You have to get registered and pay for those services. So I'll get you connected. If I can get your, I'll just get through the administrator here and send you, do a mail and bring somebody in who can guide you to get that done.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So we've come to the end of today's class and hope you have a great evening, a great week. Thank you so much, Pastor Tari. And see you all on Friday at 6:30 p.m. WAT for the next class. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.